Jones. They'll be talking, laughing, shouting, and shaking their fists. Bonnie and Mandy. Make sure you're always watching, or you could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wide as it can be, with no apology. 7:30 Wednesday night, they're on the air, Wildflowers. And you know you'll love the show on Facebook Live, Wildflowers. Bonnie Scalisi and Mandy Jones, Wildflowers.
Oh, welcome. Being alive at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, and as always, next to me is...
Hi, I'm Bonnie Scalisi. How are you, everybody?
Hi, guys. If you found us, please share the show. Please share the show.
And could you make sure the show is on my page? If you know how to do that, just go to my page and see if it's there.
Bonnie never believes me that I actually really shared it. So you guys need the confirmation. Tell us that it has been shared, so we know. But Bonnie, what's new?
Not a lot.
You want to tell them what the topic is tonight?
Yes, the topic tonight is finances, like how you like to spend your money, or if you like to save your money, or what you like to anything to do about your ideas and money. What's a shorter way to say that?
Well, yeah, we were calling it like spending habits, because some people are really frugal, and then some people like
spending habits. That's it.
Spend it till it's gone. I'm kind of somewhere in between, but we'll get into that more in a moment. We're gonna bring on our guest in just a moment, but a couple things. Please share the show. Please share the show. Please share the show.
Robin DeVito already shared the show. Thank you, Robin.
Extra points for
Robin. Go and look on my page and see if this page is It says this is on my Facebook page. Hi, Esther Forrester. How are you?
Esther.
Robin's already starting. Buy boots. That's what she would spend her money on. Thank you, Nancy. I really appreciate that. So I do trust you, but it's just like sometimes it gets fun. Thank you, Nancy.
Trust me, guys.
I do. So yeah. So if you have some things you want to share about spending habits in your family, do you agree on your spending habits? You don't agree on your spending habits? What would you do if you could with your money? All of that. That's what we're going to cover tonight. And we also have two paying sponsors for the first time.
Yes.
Talking about money.
Speaking of, I know. I think we could maybe plug them real quick. I mean, the Ambience Salon
and the Keys Love Jewelry and Keys Cutlery.
Which around 8 o'clock, guys, stay tuned. We're going to tell you all about those guys now supporting the Wildflowers, which is really cool. But Bonnie's doing a couple little shout outs, and then I think
Hi, Joan Kupiesha. How are you?
I think we should bring this gentleman on.
Absolutely. Okay, so our guest tonight, he's a very, very funny comedian, and he's performed all over the country. And he is touring with Bobby Collins, the very, very funny John Ziegler.
Woo! Welcome.
Guys. I feel very special. They gave me wine, and I got the big chair.
We were supposed to pretend it's coffee in there. We weren't going to tell anybody.
I couldn't. I'm a bad actor. I wasn't going to pull it off.
Speaking of bad actor, did you ever try anything other than stand-up comedy? Were you ever like an improv guy or anything else?
I actually don't enjoy improv. I'm not good at it, but I also don't enjoy watching it.
I hate it.
Don't enjoy watching it.
No, I don't like
it.
Even. Like, whose line is it anyway? Could it not a gunpoint? I can't sit through it.
Oh. And so how did you find stand-up comedy?
I wanted to do it since I was like 10.
Oh, okay.
And I got the balls at about 40. It took about 30 years to muster the courage. And I did it as like, life was winding down. I'm going to do it, kind of get it out of my system. And
it's something you wanted to do.
Always. And I did it at 40. You get a little thicker skin when you get older.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck, what do I care? What do I care what people think?
Yeah, what are they going to do to me?
Yeah, really? And I went up and I was petrified. I did my first open mic at Governor's Comedy Club.
Okay.
And there was a bringer show, and I did it, and I loved it. And I went back next month, and I did a second one, and I never stopped.
Yeah.
I just never stopped. And I owned a business at the time. And within a year, I sold my business and just dove
Oh,
in.
wow.
For jokes?
I sold my business to be a... I don't recommend. I don't know where I'm looking at. I don't recommend selling a successful business to be an open micer.
Well, we're talking spending habits. What was your initial business that you were
I owned
in?
a fitness studio in Port Washington in a pretty wealthy area.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had a good business going.
So you motivated people?
Yeah, I don't know if I did. They paid me.
But I feel like being in the fitness industry, I feel like that's kind of fun because it's like the success stories. You kind of get to see, like, that's what I was saying to my one friend, and he was like, yeah, but it's also like total chaos when people
You're
just
also a
blame
psychologist.
you.
You're a
Like,
psychologist a little
like,
bit. Yeah.
You go, all right, John, I come to see you once a week. You work me out. We work out together. And then I go home, I eat like shit. And then next week I'm going to be pissed that I'm not
You get some of
taking
that.
weight off.
Yeah, you get a little of
It's
that.
like the therapist. It's like, no, you have to do the shit that we talk about at home. Like, you can't just come in here and cry once a week.
You have to keep it up. And
I did
follow the
fitness
rules.
I worked in the industry for 20 years. Like,
Okay.
I used to run Equinoxes. I was like a regional director for New York Sport Club. It was my livelihood before comedy.
Were you ever out of shape? Is that what ever drew you to it? Or you're just always a fit guy?
Not crazy fit. I'm not that fit now, but I always worked out.
Oh, shut up. You're fit.
You're fit.
Right? But I
Right.
Which Equinox? Was it the one in
Woodbury. I was like
in Woodbury,
I was
okay.
the first fitness director there when they opened.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Because there's one by Roslyn Heights that my sister goes to.
Yes.
And I would say she probably knows you.
You just like named every Jewish town around. Like, I think there's an Equinox in Hewlett.
Well,
Woodbury.
anyway, we have our first story from one of our listeners. Jim Rhea is watching.
Oh,
He's
Jim.
our former co-host who quit on us, but we still love him. He said that his ex-wife believed in spending thousands on shoes and pocketbooks. And, you know, a lot of women do that. I am actually missing the shopping gene. I have one pocketbook that I use until it wears out and is in tatters, and then I'll buy another one. I have maybe 2 pairs of shoes, and I wear them. I hardly have any clothes. I really hate shopping, and I'm Jewish, so I am missing that. But one of the things that we have in common with our guest, John Ziegler, is he's also Jewish, and he talks a lot in his comedy about money and spending money, and his jokes are freaking hilarious.
You know what? Somebody broke down my set one night. I headlined, which is a 45-minute set. And they watched it. It was actually, I'll say, it was Neil Rubenstein, if you know comic Neil Rubenstein.
Yes.
He watched my set, and then he told another comic. He told the guy, Ryan Brook, he goes, go home and get your camera. And they taped my second set that night, and then Neil went home and edited every time I mentioned money.
I saw
my
it.
God.
I saw it. It was freaking hilarious.
And I have on, like, you know, I'm wearing like a shirt. And several people who watched it were like, you wear that shirt on stage a lot. And I'm like, no, that's one show that I mentioned money that much.
No, it's. I watched one of your episodes. You were taping with Mike.
Oh, the podcast I was doing.
The podcast, and you said that one of your friends actually said that maybe you needed an intervention because you were
That was
talking so much
comedian
about.
Joe DeVito.
Yeah, that you were talking.
Said, you got to
so
talk
much
about something else. It's not normal.
But you do talk about other things. But money,
do, but
money
money-
is a big one.
Well, you talk about what you know. And whenever I go out, there's always like a confrontation in a store. And I always find it
Really?
funny. Every time I go, I have a fight. I'm banned from like 70% of the stores on Long Island at this point.
Oh,
I
the
can't
confrontation is you with the money.
Well, something has
In
to
the
make
store.
it has to make sense to me.
You
If
sound
something doesn't
like
make
my
sense,
boyfriend's very similar to you.
Pun intended.
We call it frugal, and being
No,
very.
and I'm not.
You're not.
No,
Wait,
I'm
what doesn't make sense to you when you walk in a store and you see signs or like the sales verbiage, like when
yeah,
it's
sometimes
just
like a deal, like if you do this, or this, just things have to add up. If it doesn't make sense
you
to me,
wanna
I have to
clarify.
question.
You have to question it.
and not just about money. Like I had a fight with a guy about COVID in a deli because I go to this deli like 5 times a week for the past 4 years, and I go in one day and he tells me I can't read the paper. I go in every day. I get my coffee and my paper. I read the paper. I relax.
Was this after COVID though?
This was like 5 months ago, mid-COVID.
Okay.
I went in and I read the paper, and he goes, "You can't read the paper here
You
anymore."
can't
And I go,
just-
"What?" And he goes, "You have to buy it."
Oh, okay. I thought maybe because of COVID.
It is because of COVID. He doesn't want me to touch the paper.
Oh.
So I thought about it for a second, and at first I'm like agreeable. I'm like, okay, well, I get it. And then I look around and I'm like, well, he touched my sandwich. The cashier touched my sandwich. You have they have the coffee pot out, like this make your own coffee with the milk and the creamer. And I'm like, why do you care about my newspaper? This whole place is contaminated.
Yeah, everybody's touching everything.
It doesn't make any sense.
I couldn't just leave it be.
Right, because you had so many other examples.
But I like that. But luckily, I'm not banned.
Well, not yet.
From that place.
How old was the kid?
Taz, the residential artist, is watching. Peter Najek is watching. Hi, guys. And Taz says, Mr. DeVito, he's the best. Yes, he is. Peter Najek says, just a confrontation in the bagel store for me. Peter was in that, remember the Bagel Boss guy?
Oh, with the,
He's the tall guy that the Bagel Boss guy was screaming at, but they didn't film his head.
He's the tall guy.
Right. If he had been a little shorter, he'd be famous right now. Right, Peter? I think that's...
The other guy's like 5'2". Like, how tall does Peter really need to be the tall
Peter's
guy?
Tall.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
He's
why
very
this guy
tall.
lost it. Like 5'8" tall.
Yeah, and what did he say? I'm not God. I'm not your dad. I'm not your.
Everything he said was on
You're
the
not
tape.
God. You're not my dad. You're
not
my boss.
Right. If he had just been on camera, he'd be famous right now. But
like the other guy was.
Yeah. But now nobody talks about the bagel.
He had
it's a drop.
He made some cash, that dude, in a
He
short
did.
period of time.
He upset the.
We're on to the next thing. So Robin DeVito says she loves shopping, and
you know you do. She always looks fabulous.
She always
Robin
looks
has
fabulous.
a very nice sense of style.
She does.
I love thrift stores.
I like thrift stores for my son. I get him VHS tapes there.
I was poor once.
VHS tapes.
And I will never be
because
poor again.
that's all he'll watch.
So I'm a frugal person.
Oh, you're like a depression baby.
I'm like a very frugal person. Like
you're putting
like my husband was like trying to sell me on like blinds the other day, and I'm like, how much now? Like, there's got to be like wheels on it for that. Like, and then he's like, yeah, okay. So now the room upstairs, no blinds on it. There's no. He wanted to get a chair refurbished and blinds, and he tells me the price, and I'm like, what's that now? Like, no.
Yeah, once you've been poor, you're bringing home. You're taking the sweet and low packets. You got a roll in your pocket.
No, I don't take sweet and low packets. I drink my sugar. I take my sugar black. I drink my coffee black, like a real woman. But no, I think about things I could live without. Like, for instance, drinking coffee. I won't. Like, I have a Starbucks gift card that I've had in my bag.
You don't like coffee?
No, I like coffee, but I won't go to Starbucks and buy it. Like my
because
my
it's
stepdad
expensive.
will only go to 7-Eleven.
Because it's expensive.
7-Eleven only has the good coffee. My stepdad.
So to answer your question, Peter Najak said the Bagel Boss guy is 5'10" and he is 6'3".
Wait, that guy's 5'10"?
That
Yes.
guy is not 5'10".
Well, I'm sorry. Did I say 5'10"? 4'10".
Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to say, where's my screen button?
I'm not good with math. Sorry. And Cedric, who watches our show every week, Cedric Hooks says, I'm close to 6'7". Holy crap.
Ooh.
I'm only 5'1".
Damn.
I'm tiny. And,
Yeah,
and you're tiny too. We're both tiny.
But that's when you're uncomfortably tall, Cedric. You know, once you're like 6'7", like I used to look at the football players in class with me, and like they would be in like the little desk that's connected to the chair that's connected to the desk, and it's like for me and like children, and these guys are like. I'm like, there's no way, especially the like left-handed guys. I'm like, there's no way you're fucking comfortable right now, dude.
Mm-hmm. Well, Esther Forrester was saying that she was banned from the laundromat for questioning her price. Questioning the price of what? The quarters that you put in the machine?
Do not talk to anybody. I had the worst. We'll talk about public interactions. I had a lady screaming at me about how I was basically living in sin because me and my husband were living together but weren't married yet.
Mm.
And she was like, "You
what
look too
business
young
is it
to
of
be
ours?
doing your own laundry." And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm 21 years."
The laundromat lady yelled at you?
No, a crazy lady.
Oh, just somebody in the laundromat?
She starts telling me, "Oh yeah, I go down to Planned Parenthood every weekend and I protest." And my daughter's saying I'm gonna get shot. And I'm like, and then my husband walks in and she's like, "And this one," she's like, "Get rid of them," is what she said to me. I was like, "No." And I'm like, "Yeah, and you probably believe in fucking the death penalty too, right? You fucking psycho." Like, it was I'm like,
I don't go to laundry. I don't go to laundry.
No, I fucking bought a house with a fucking.
I had to go
laundry
today
on site because of that fucking incident.
My mother, I take care of my mom. My mother's dryer broke, and it's a stackable, and I'm the fucking least handy person on the planet, so.
What does that mean? Say that again.
It's a stackable. The dryer's on top. It's one piece.
Oh, okay, got it.
So I'm looking like, well, do I have to get both? I'm like, yeah, well, I'd have to cut it in half to just. I can't just buy the top half.
Oh, the Uniton.
I have two dryers.
No, it's connected, stackable.
I have a washing machine, a dryer, and a dryer in my house.
Fancy. So I had to go to the laundromat today to do my mother's. And I was going to do it. I have it at my house. I was going to do it. And then I looked, and like my mother's all, she pees on shit and stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Talk about frugal though, but it's worth it to do. When I found out the price per pound to do your own laundry,
Yeah, it's expensive.
for them to drop. No, it's not.
It's not?
It's like $1.25 a pound or some shit. For me to be in there with that much clothes, my life is worth.
But when you pee on it, the sheet weighs like 7 pounds. It's got a lot of water. It's a lot of water weight.
That's right.
Like, what the fuck's in this bag?
Our basement flooded and we had all towels and shit. And I was like, I'm fucking just dropping it off. The lady's like, yeah, it's going to be like $5,000.
That's what I did.
Well, Jim Reyes says his weakness is TVs, and I'm a witness to this.
TVs?
He has in his house, he has 12 TVs totaling about 40,000. I have about 12 TVs too, but they're not all new TVs. I have some of the old-fashioned ones that are the big, bulky,
Oh, you have like TVs.
I have TVs, but not expensive.
Like tube
Some
sets.
of them are, like 3 of them are expensive, and the rest are the old tube TVs.
Yeah, tube TVs.
Because my sons are autistic, and they would knock those new TVs over. So I need the ones with weight.
Tell your kids, because my dad was, believe it or not, my father was a TV repairman.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what he
wow.
did for a living.
So he knows how to fix those?
Oh, he's been dead for 24 years, but yeah.
I'm
if
so
he comes
sorry.
back,
Before that he was.
I'm so sorry.
I don't care. Statute of limitations is up. It's been 24 years. But I used to take the tubes. My father had a whole case of tubes. And if you smash them, they explode.
No.
Yeah, so I used to go in the driveway and be like, and like smash the tubes. My
Oh
father
my
goes, what the
God.
fuck are you doing? Like this, yeah, so tell your kids if they want to throw the tubes from the TVs. It's fun.
Well, it's too heavy for them to pick up. Cedric
Well,
Hooks,
not the whole set, Bonnie. Like there's little tubes in there.
but you have to open the TV to get the tubes, don't you?
You do it for them.
Well, why would I do that? Cedric Hook says he's comfortable, just like a Cadillac Escalade, because you were talking about his height. And Esther is saying, that laundry is one of the few things she splurges on.
Yeah, there you go, Esther.
Yeah, I like to spend my money on experiences rather than things, because one of my best friends is a nurse, and she always says that when she was taking care of all these dying patients, they never talked about the stuff they had, whether it was a car or whatever. They always regretted the relationships they had in their life and the experiences that they didn't do. So I try to...
This took a hard turn.
I'd rather spend money on going to a restaurant and having the memory.
We have very funny comedian John Ziegler. So when you're on your deathbed...
Right, when you're on your deathbed. All right, so Jim Reyes says, I put my tube TVs at the curb years ago, and no one would even take them. People from other towns take everything. I put it at the curb, but not the tube TVs. You should have given them to me.
Well, you know what
Anybody out there that has VHS tapes that are kid tapes, give them to me. I'll messenger me.
You know what they do with the TVs now? You take out the guts, and they turn those TVs into like bars. You know what I'm talking about?
Cool.
Yeah.
They open them up and
No, I
they
didn't know that.
they make them like furniture pieces, and it's kind of cool. A retro TV.
Retro TV,
Yeah, I've
that's
seen
so
that in
cool.
some stores.
Yeah, I can't collect anything big. Like I like my
She's
little,
a minimalist.
I'm trying to get rid of shit. I just have so much shit.
What is Jim Raya? Is it Raya or Raya?
Raya.
It's Raya, right?
And you know what? I'm one of his best
Raya.
friends, and I don't even know how to pronounce it.
No, it's
Jim, is
Raya.
it Raya or
Yeah.
Raya?
Is he
No,
watching? Jim
Yes,
Raya?
he's
What
watching.
the fuck you do with 12 television sets?
Oh, he's got like 4 that are just in one room in his man cave that is for football. I've seen it.
I
So
believe you.
it's pretty cool.
He's got
Hi, Bill Hansen. How are you?
That's great.
It's like a cooler Roomba thing.
It's very
It's like
cool.
a little beer bot. It's like I have 4 beers in it. I'm like, I think it's the most
All right, good thing.
extra.
So Robin DeVito saying her mother-in-law is so cheap she made 1 meatball for each member of her family. Was that a depression time, Robin? I'm not good with
Robin, was this
history.
when you were over
but-
for dinner the other night.
I don't know. Was there a Great Depression in 2019? Like, I don't think it was that long ago.
Well, I don't know. But
The Great
as
Meatball
a
Famine.
kid, did you like have an allowance, or like what was your story as a kid?
You know what? I'm the youngest of 6 kids. My mother was a nurse. My father was a TV repairman. We didn't have any money. I didn't know we didn't have money.
Right.
Like, I just was like, all right, we're fine. I had clothes. I went on vacation. I had food. We never did without.
Right.
Nothing fancy. I didn't have allowance. I just said I need money, and they gave me money.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from. Like I look back, I'm like, I don't know how we should have all died. Like, I don't know
Back in the
how.
day, everybody had like 5, 6 kids. That was like a low amount of kids.
For a Jew, that's very
That's a lot for
unusual.
Jews. That's a
Jews
lot.
usually stop at 3, unless you're Orthodox.
No, we're
Then
not.
they pop them out.
We're barely Jewish.
Yeah, I'm barely Jewish also. Hi, Felix from Let's Eat Long Island. He's saying, chiclets forever. Love you, Felix. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
So wait, Bonnie, did you get an allowance? They handed you money for being alive?
I got an allowance, but I had to work for the allowance. I got, for the day, it was a lot of money. I got $20 a week, but I mowed the lawn.
It's more than I make right
And
now.
Seriously,
Pretty
that's
good.
more than I make.
I mowed the lawn, and I vacuumed and dusted the entire house in Syosset. So
with 2 floors.
yes, and then I also got a paper route, the penny saver. Did you ever do the penny saver?
Sure.
Yeah, where you had to put the freaking things and all that in the
No, I got the
bags.
penny saver.
Yeah, the boys
Oh,
delivered
I
it.
delivered
You
it.
bagged it.
Nah, I didn't work in high school.
No, I had to do both. I had to bag it and deliver it.
My first job, I was a senior or almost out of high school. Was my first job.
Really?
Well, it's not, I used
You
to
didn't
pack.
babysit or anything?
Nah, I did shit.
Yeah,
My
boys
first job
don't
was KB
babysit.
Toy Store in the Broadway Mall.
Oh, KB Toys. Wow.
I had a
Oh,
scam.
wow.
was
I
a-
remember that place.
Yeah, I was
it's
a
out
bad.
of business now.
I was bad then because I always had a good head for business. So what I would do is, I think the statute of limitations. I can talk about crimes
Yeah.
on here. They can't
Yes.
come after
Yeah,
me.
you're
I
fine.
think they went Chapter 11. So I would rob the toys at night. I would put them in the garbage and take them out to the dumpster.
God,
And then I would run to my car and throw the garbage bag in my car. And then I would go to Roosevelt Field Mall and return them.
Oh, that's smart.
With your
I
KB
think
toys.
that's called extortion.
I don't know what that's called, but and at the
I
time,
love it.
this was the '80s, so Cabbage Patch dolls were really
Yes,
hot. So
yes.
I was like human trafficking. I was getting big money for Cabbage Patch dolls. But I wouldn't take those to the store. I'd mark them up around Christmas. I would sell them behind Stearns in the parking lot of the Broadway Mall. I would tell people would come in like, oh, my kid wants a Cabbage Patch. And I'd be like,
That was
11
a
o'clock
big deal.
behind Stearns, I can make that happen. And I would sell the dolls in the parking lot.
Oh my God! If you give me a list of comedians that were doing that, I don't think I would have pinned you.
No, he's got a good
No.
business head on him.
Yeah, but then I straightened up after that.
Jim Reyes says his parents got divorced and his dad never spent money. So I used to buy Jolly Ranchers for 1 cent and sell them for 10 cents each in school every day. And Bill Hansen said, I used to do that too. So you guys were extorting candy. He's
They're like-
extorting toys.
They're like competing gangs, those two. They're both in the Jolly Rancher business.
Yeah, but they're both like what kids like, candy and toys. But I got fired from my penny saving job because I worked really hard, and then I had to go from door to door and walk and throw the paper in there. And at one point, I just took a whole stack of them and threw them in a trash can. And thought, who would know that I didn't deliver them, or I did, and I got caught. That's why I never do anything wrong anymore, because I always get caught. So Robin says, gee, does it look like Mandy needs a tan? Only kidding, Sugar Plum. Oh, that's an in joke. We're not gonna talk about that.
Revisit.
Yeah, we're not gonna revisit that. We'll skip
But
that.
I do need a tan. Thank you, Robin.
So for the record, for your listeners, I'm incredibly generous. It's a principle thing. I
That's
will fight
right.
over principle.
Okay.
Like I'll go to a steakhouse, I'll spend $300. I won't blink an eye. But
Yeah.
when they're like, "Can I get some more salad dressing?" They're like, "Oh, it's a $2 upcharge." I'd be like, "Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
I spent
seriously.
$300 here. You're not charging me $2 for dressing."
My boyfriend's exactly the same. He just tuned in. He will do the same exact thing. He will, on the McDonald's, he'll order from the dollar menu. And then just 3 weeks ago, he bought a tractor for almost $17,000 and paid cash for it. So he'll be like really like frugal, and then he spends money on a tractor. And luckily, we don't share finances, so he can buy that tractor. And if we were married or whatever, I'd be like, "Why do you need a fucking tractor?"
I wasn't going to ask any follow-up questions, but I'm not going to say that it crossed my mind living here on Long Island.
No, he keeps the tractor, and he has a place in Pennsylvania, a warehouse. He keeps it there.
Okay.
But like, if you need a tractor, it's just my opinion. You could rent one for the few times you need it. But he always wanted to buy one. He's been looking for a bargain, or for like something he's always wanted. So he bought one. But he'll pay he won't pay more than $1 for a cheeseburger at McDonald's. So he's a very interesting guy. And he's like, I have a lot to say on this subject. So far he hasn't typed in. He said, yep, same here.
I get excited over weird, if I want clothes, if I see a sweater and it's like $100, I'm like, I like it. I just buy the sweater. I don't really think about it. I'm like, it's going to last me forever. It's cashmere. Great. I'm doing it. I don't really think about it. But like I get excited. Like I do a lot of like 30-day free trial shit.
And then just keep it running
Oh, and then
accidentally?
Is it like you give
Or
it
you
back?
Like no, I know. I never pay. Like if say I see something on
Never
Hulu,
pay.
I go, oh, I really want to watch the show on Hulu. I'm like 30-day free trial. So here's the trick. You guys can learn something. You join. Everybody always tries to wait till the 30 days and then cancel. Then they forget, and they end up banging you out. You get billed. You can join and then cancel immediately. You still get the 30 days.
Oh,
I'm bad with that stuff.
Yeah. So I join and then I cancel.
And then you're just in for
And I'm
30
in for 30,
days.
and I don't have to think
Wow,
about it.
alright. You
But-
did actually learn something on this show tonight.
So a lot of people are the same as you, John. Cedric Hook says, I do the same. I'll buy a sandwich for $4, but I just paid $52,000 cash for my truck. And
So it's not cheap.
I did see that. You saved up for Christmas. Very nice. Or Happy New Year to himself, it was.
My name
hey,
of a-
Jennifer Lantini, how are you? Jennifer, I hope you're feeling better.
Why do I know
We
her?
miss Jennifer. She's the bartender at Coasters.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
We
Of
love
course.
her.
I knew I knew
Yes.
that
We
name.
love you, John.
Yeah, I'm going to go out with her as soon as she's
Ooh.
ready. So more stories about being money spending, because I have them all written down.
Money girl.
do you want to go?
Bonnie always does her homework.
Yeah, I have a
Your
lot
show.
written
You
down.
can talk about money. I'm sure I'll have a story that follows it up. so-
Okay, I can't balance a checkbook.
Oh, I could to the penny.
Okay, so I'm very different
Yeah.
than that. In fact, just recently, I have a bunch of checks that I forgot to write down what I spent, who I made it out to, and who how much money I spent.
Nah,
And
I'm OCD. I would lose my shit.
I was gonna say something that Bonnie's gonna say. Do you know who you're talking to? But I do like the online banking with how you can see a picture of the check and you
yeah.
can see all that shit go right through.
My checkbook is pristine.
I don't even have a debit card. I
Immaculate.
don't know how to use a debit card.
I don't use debit cards.
So you go in
No,
person to the
everything
bank.
is charge it, but I don't buy anything that I can't afford.
So you pay the charge card right away.
Well, I just don't live outside my means. Like
I pay my
everybody
charge
else in
card
this-
when I go home. Like if
Ooh,
I buy
oh,
something
no,
at Macy's, I go home and pay the charge card.
No, I carry it.
I have
You
like
don't
OCD.
want to get that late fee.
I have like OCD issues.
Every time I've had a late fee, I've called and been like, "Come on, guys, look at my fucking shit. I do not. I should.
Oh,
I
you
don't.
haggle it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, come on." And
I'm
they
a-
usually remove it. I've
I'm a good
probably
haggler.
had Chase remove it 15 times.
So my boyfriend says to you, you don't pay for the things you don't have to. Way to go, John. He feels the same way. Felix is saying, I went to a boarding school, so I had a charge account at the school, and his dad gave him $10 for pizza. At that time, it was $2.50 a pie, LOL. My dad canceled my account once because I spent $100 on candy. So you didn't, Felix, you took the money and did something that your parents told you not to do with the money? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what he's saying. And Jennifer's saying she misses us too.
Yeah, in high school, my mom wouldn't even give me like lunch money. Like, you're on your
But lunch
fucking
money
own.
was
That's
a
why-
big deal.
That's why I want
lunch
to
money
get
was
a
a big
fucking
deal.
job.
Yeah,
Right.
I was never a bringer.
Bring lunch? Yeah, no,
Nah, I
there's
never
no.
brought lunch.
Yeah, you gotta buy it while it's there,
Yeah.
while it's hot.
Everybody wanted to sit.
There's always
ne-
one day that's
have-
disgusting, though.
yeah, I mean,
Pizza day was a big deal.
pizza day.
Pizza day
and-
was a big fucking deal. Back
yeah,
then.
it
It's
was.
like
it
they're
was.
like
It was probably
generic
disgusting as to
Elios.
our standards now. We probably would think it's disgusting. So Felix says, yes, I was terrible handling money. Felix, that's because you and I are very similar. We have a lot of warmth. Not that you guys don't have warmth, but
What are you
we
trying to
don't
say,
know what the
Ryan,
hell
right?
we're doing with math.
I'm not that warm.
I'll tip. My tips never change.
Oh, I'm a ridiculously over tipper.
Yeah, I don't change
Even for
the
bad
amount.
service.
Yeah, no, that's me too. I'm like she sucks, but whatever. She's
I'm a
doing her
big
job.
tipper too.
Always.
Big tipper.
Always.
I-
Well, one, I'm a lot.
Especially now with everything.
That person's earned every penny I've given them by the time I leave.
Have you
there.
ever had a waiter that you felt didn't deserve a tip?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I still tip them. I'll never stiff them. Never. Even if they suck.
Yeah,
I won't
no.
always go above and beyond. I'll leave
Yeah.
them like 18% if they're shitty.
Oh, that's
Like
good.
shitty.
18.
If they're shitty. Yeah, I know it's a very specific number.
Yeah,
I don't even
it's
use a
20%,
calculator.
20%. I'm from New York. I don't care. Whatever.
I
Whatever
do.
you did.
I can just my eyes roll back in my head.
By
I
the
do
way-
just like do math in my head. I can just calculate numbers.
See, I'm missing that Jew gene.
I have. That's the
I'm
only Jew
missing the
gene I
Jew
have.
shopping gene, and I'm missing the Jew math, gene.
I'll
So
shop without exaggeration. I'll shop for 8 hours. I'll go to the mall by myself for 8 hours.
You're
wow,
sick.
I hate shopping.
8 hours.
And
Hey, buy what?
I come home with like 2 things because I try everything on. Like
whoa,
Stores close when I go into the mall. They pull the gates down. Like he's gonna fucking try on socks for 4 hours. He's insane.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God.
What are they made of? Do they shrink? Like everybody hates me when I
Oh,
shop.
I'm like, get me the fuck
And then I
out
come
of
home with
here.
like a t-shirt and I wash it the second I get in the house. It goes in the washer, then in the dryer.
My stepdad does that.
So I can see if it shrunk and fit right. I got
So you can
That's what the
return
thrift
it.
stores are good for, because they already were washed, so they won't shrink. So my boyfriend's saying Bonnie's Jew card is probably forged based on the way she shops. My boyfriend said he's the worst shopper I've ever seen. Like, we went to the supermarket together, and I just throw things in the cart. I don't look at the prices, and then I just pay the bill.
Yeah, that's.
And I don't use any coupons or anything else.
I've never cut a coupon in my life.
I've cut coupons. I've
Kohl's
never
doesn't
used
count.
them.
Kohl's is always.
I lose the coupons, so.
Yeah, they stay in my house.
Kohl's you can always get something, but that don't count. But the supermarket,
My sister said
supermarket.
the other day that she walked out of Kohl's without, she paid, but she said she wasn't waiting online. It was like Christmas. And she's like, yeah, I'm not waiting. And like literally like threw 20 down
Here's
for like
another
$16
scam.
for the shit. I'm like, are you fucking serious? This is not like 20s.
this is another good scam
Mm-hmm.
for the viewers to learn this.
I
never
John has
have-
all kinds of tips for you
Yeah,
if you're
but-
listening.
I never have a coupon, but
You pretend
Can you
have.
honor it?
I go like this. I take my phone out. And I'm like, let me see. I had it here, and I'm like, you got Wi-Fi, and I wear them down.
Ah,
And they're like, fuck it. Just fuck
that's
They're like
hilarious.
30. They're like
Discount.
30%. Just get them out of here.
That's so funny. Now, speaking of money,
Never have a coupon. What? I know
Mandy,
it's.
Mandy and I have new sponsors.
Yes, thanks to Miss Bonnie next to me.
Well, actually, you know, I'm a terrible businesswoman. I did actually get the sponsor you're going to talk about, but this sponsor reached out to me, and if you're interested in having us talk about your product on the air, just stay tuned, and you can just messenger her, Mandy or I. But there is a place called Keys Love Jewelry that sells stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free, and Keys Cutlery that sells knives, swords, and self-defense equipment. And John was telling me that Stephen Perillo, he saw some of the stuff that Stephen Perillo bought from this shop, and it looks like he's from The Walking Dead. The stuff is so cool.
He's got some cool stuff.
It's got
pretty
excellent
cool
quality for reasonable prices. You can shop online, keylovesjewelry.com or keyscutlery.com. And he's located, if you want to go in person, like you like to shop in person, Lala's Flea Market, 1075 Portion Road in Farmingdale, New York. And the phone number for that is 631-379-1781. And Mandy's putting the logo on the screen, as you can see right now, because Mandy is the technological genius that made this beautiful logo. And I plan on I live in Nassau County, but I plan on going out there and taking a look because I've heard so much great stuff about it. And now Mandy is going to talk about the next sponsor that is I'm very excited about.
Yes, we're going to actually go there, Bonnie. It's the Ambience
Definitely.
Salon. in
Hi, Dan
Hewlett.
Romano.
Oh, and by the way, guys, our beliefs and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect the beliefs and opinions of these sole proprietorships. So Ambience Salon in Hewlett, they're a full service skin, hair, and nail salon. On Mondays, a Racine salon where they offer free salon, spa, and free wigs to anyone currently battling cancer. So that's really cool, guys. If you know anyone currently battling cancer, please reach out to them. They're in Nassau County. They have online booking available at the ambiencesalon.com. Please follow them on Instagram or Facebook at the ambiencesalon.com. They are the Ambience Salon, 1344 Broadway, Hewlett, New York. You can reach them at 516. I have a typo on here. 516-295-4011. It says 631.
Look at the beautiful
516
thing on the screen.
295.
You can always
4011.
rewind it later and get it.
And Bonnie and I we're gonna actually go and get facials, and we'll come back and tell you about them because that's what she said to us.
Oh,
So-
nice. I've
so-
never had a facial before.
Yeah, ooh. So we're gonna go and do that.
Okay, cool.
But thank you guys.
So now we're going to get back to our show, which our theme is spending. What is it? What's it called? How you like to spend your money.
Spending habits.
I feel very slouchy in this big chair. I keep seeing
a booster seat.
this chair is like a. You ever seen Misery? This is like an Annie Wilkes chair.
It does remind me of that. That's so funny.
I feel like I'm tied up in this chair.
All right, so let's talk about savings. I'm a terrible saver. And what happened was I worked for 32 years, and on my own, I only saved $200. The only thing that saved me was my teaching profession.
It's like $6 a year of money.
My teaching profession had what's called a TDA, Teachers Deferred Annuity, where you sign up and they take it straight out of your pay. So you're saving money without knowing you're saving money.
Okay, nice.
So that's how I saved money. And honestly, I'm so bad at money, I don't even know how to get to that money, which I guess is good because I'd probably spend it if I knew how to get to it. It would probably be gone. So how are you guys about saving money?
Well, I knew nothing about saving. My parents both are like, make it and spend it. But my mother-in-law, I met my husband when we were 19, and she taught him, you go get a Walmart credit card, you buy your shit, you spend, and you get your credit up, you start. So me and him and I bought a car together and paid it off together. So I actually have like immaculate credit. I
have immaculate credit too.
I really lucked out because had I not.
But do you have any savings?
No, and I do have savings. And the reason
that's good.
The reason I have savings is we both do the automatic, like you said,
just take it out. You don't see it.
I don't see it. It just goes right.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have joint bank accounts and single bank accounts. So it's kind of like you don't see that money.
I have savings from before I was a comic. I had real jobs.
So that's real money.
He was a kindergarten teacher. He hates when I bring it up.
Yeah,
at my kids' school.
22 years ago.
For how long?
For like a couple of years.
A couple hours. 1 year.
I love the bit.
I taught 1 year kindergarten, 1 year fourth grade.
Wow. And you were like, they're not getting better?
No, I hated every minute of teaching. Every single
Really?
minute I was in the classroom, I hated it. It was like a horrible career choice. Like,
Well,
you go
men
to school.
are not nurturers by nature.
No, and I don't even like kids. It was a horrible
What were
career
you
choice.
thinking? What did you think
I was
was going to
desperate.
happen?
I was young. I needed a career. I was floundering. So I'm like, teaching, that sounds good. Summer's off. I was in the classroom for about an hour, and I'm like,
See,
I think I made a
people
big
always
mistake.
say that. Oh, you get the
Right.
summers off. Look at all your vacations.
Yeah, fuck
but you
it.
earn every little one,
It was
right?
hard. It was a hard job.
It's a freaking hard job. And I always say to people when they say stuff like that, I'm like, you could get they're hiring in New York City right now. If you want to be a teacher, go ahead. Right, even with COVID, you will be hired as a teacher. But because they're like, oh, it's so easy. It's not so easy.
If shit don't open up, I may have to. I got,
I got that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
They need people desperately. Oh, Robert Soleil is watching. We were telling everybody that you wrote our song at the very beginning of the show. He's part of the band Street Fighter, and I'm going to see him. Robert, type in where you're going to be. I'm seeing him. We have something we're in a show on Sunday, but the following week I'm going to see his band Street Fighter with Robin DeVito. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't seen them in a while.
And you keep saying Sunday. Is that true? I think
Saturday.
Okay, good.
Sorry, Saturday. I have it written down.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
But we're not allowed to talk about that show. Messenger us if you want details to that show.
Oh, is it a down low?
Down
like
low.
comedy.
Yeah.
Down low.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
your lips shut.
So,
I have something in February that I'm excited for. It's like real audience and stuff.
Ooh.
But I can't.
Can't talk
Yeah,
about
we
it.
can't. I would say you could talk about it, but I know
No,
that you
I
can't.
can't.
Well,
You can't.
hopefully,
Right.
hopefully soon you can
It's
go
on
to
the down low.
JohnZieglerComedy.com and there'll be a whole flyer about all the
I
actual
believe
live
everything will come
places.
back. I really believe governors will open back up. I think that
If they let him open at 50%, they'll open the doors. 50%, he'll be worth him. I don't know if he's going to do all 3 clubs, but he'll definitely open up if he can do 50%, which is realistic.
I think that it's going to come back. It's just everybody has to hold on tight and just,
That's it.
it'll come back. So Peter Najek is saying, I'm good with savings because we grew up poor. I paid off a college loan, so my credit score is immaculate.
Nice.
I have a perfect credit score. I always pay my bills. So does Mandy. Robert wants to know.
John's a bum who steals.
He wants to know if we're playing the whole song. We are. I think we're playing the whole song.
Yeah, that's the long.
Yeah.
We played the whole
it's
song.
long.
It's like Freebird. It was like the intro was Freebird. It was,
That is the short version. He sent me like a 3 minute and 30
He offered to do
seconds.
jingles for the new
Ooh,
sponsors.
We'll take an Ambience Salon.
Yeah,
jingle.
the two sponsors are, one is like a knife shop, and the other is a hair salon. So they're very different. It's like yin and yang, which I think is so cool.
is Street Fighter, because I'm not familiar, is it a Stones cover?
Yes, they're
Okay.
amazing.
See how I put that together?
Yeah.
Street Fight Man.
Yes, yes.
Figured that out on my own.
They're great.
They're
exact.
That's
they,
awesome.
They sound like the record. They're like amazing. And I'm going, Robert, type in when the show is and where it is because I forgot.
And
I think it's in Belmore. I'm not sure. So Jim Ryan says, all the money I saved, the wife got in the divorce. So I'm starting from scratch. Oh,
Is Jim?
but freedom is priceless.
Is he on
I
a
was
second
telling you
marriage
that.
or is he divorced?
No, Jim, I'm still working on my divorce almost 2 years later. Are you already divorced or are you going through the
Wait,
divorce?
I thought no, but I think this is Jim's second marriage, right?
No, I think it's his first marriage.
I mean, is he getting divorced now or he's divorced from?
He's
'Cause he was-
getting
I haven't
divorced
seen Jim in a
now.
while. He used to do the open mics by me and he had a wife.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but
We met in your class. You were the assistant teacher. John Truson
Yeah.
was the main teacher. And one of my favorite memories is you and John Truson ripping Jim a new one for his jokes.
By the way, Jim,
Do you
I've seen your act. I'm not going to say I'm shocked you're getting divorced. What you said about that poor woman.
Exactly. I said to him, she did you a favor. She asked him for the divorce, and she
Oh, I
did him
didn't
a
know that.
favor because he was unhappy.
Are we
And-
airing his dirty business on the?
He doesn't care.
All right, I
He
don't know.
he was on our show last week, and he talked even more about it, so he doesn't care.
Okay.
So Esther Farsa says, I save money by buying kids' leggings rather than adult ones, which is silly since I'm so tall. How do you get them on? Don't they rip? I mean, when you try to put them on?
So funny.
Okay, so Robert Soleil is giving us all that.
Oh my
Robert, I don't know what that means.
Is that a
So-
Dropbox link?
Robert Soleil,
Oh my
just
God.
write that.
It's fine.
Unless
Fine,
you're not
I'll do it
allowed
later.
to do it, maybe because of the same thing, the down low. If you're not allowed to say where and when, I understand. Just forget it.
The show
not
I'm doing
that
is
way.
actually a legal show, but I still don't.
No, you don't wanna
We
take
can't
my
sell
hands
tickets.
off.
Rather
It's
not
still not
talk
even
about
worth it. And it's a private thing, so you couldn't even sell tickets
okay.
anyway. There's no
Yeah.
reason to promote it.
Right.
But I actually think it's okay.
Hi, Lou Prats. How are you?
So what about big purchases? What was like your first car, your first big
I
thing that
lease
you
cars. I like new shit.
bought? You leased cars?
I lease cars.
Even when you were fucking excuse my French, 17.
No, back
That
then.
was pretty good.
That's only her first curse. I'm gonna give her like a prize when this is over.
So you leased a car when you were that young? No.
No, not that. I mean, I don't know if they leased
When-
cars back then. I'm
when she got a-
53.
Mm-mm.
17 was like
When did leasing come
1982.
out?
New. I mean, really?
I've been
it's
leasing
new.
cars for at least 20 years.
Okay.
Really? They had
Yeah.
it back then?
Yeah, like 20. My last like she's like, what about 1974? Were you leasing a Pinto?
So
Like an
what was your
Oldsmobile?
first like big purchase or big lease that you really like?
don't know
Is
if
there?
I've
Yeah, because I paid off a car to establish credit. So if you leased your cars, how did you
You get
establish
credit?
credit?
You're paying a note every
Yeah.
month.
Oh, okay.
so
So,
what?
My
so if
credit
you
score is
continue
like
to
in
pay,
the my
if
credit
you-
score is in the 800s. So I have a really good credit. I've never missed a payment in my life.
I know I have good
a
credit, but I
sickness.
don't know what my credit score is. I just know I have good credit.
My first big purchase, I don't really buy big purchases. Nice clothes. I bought a nice sound system to do comedy. I have like a state-of-the-art like sound system,
Oh, cool.
spotlights. Like that was something I'll invest in myself. But I don't buy expensive TV. Jim's
Yeah.
right. That's one thing. I watch a lot of TV, so I will not stinge on a TV set.
Yeah.
And nowadays, they're not even expensive. When I was buying them 10 years ago to get a flat screen TV was like thousands.
Yeah.
Now you can go buy a 60-inch TV for like $400.
We're gonna need a new TV.
You get them
soon.
out by the curb, right, Jim?
That's right.
Jim,
They're heavy though, with the tubes in them.
They are. You have to get a pal to help you carry it away. So Jim said, we filed for the divorce already. Should be final by Valentine's Day, lawyer said. First marriage.
Oh, okay.
I'm on 2 years and I'm waiting. I'm not allowed to talk about it, so whatever. It's not going well.
She's getting 6 of the TVs.
I don't care. You can have everything in
And
the
one
house.
of the
I just want to
dryers.
keep my pension. And it doesn't look good for me.
I'm still hung up on the fact that the stackable dryers thing. Them not being. That's like the DVD and.
I can't fix anything. And look, I've been taking care of my mom. I know, Bonnie, you have your caretaker.
Yes.
It's a lot of stress on me.
It's very stressful.
But you break down after a while. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
So like, this is not a big thing, the dryer breaking. You call a service guy, they come and fix it. Or you go to PC Richards. It's not... To me, this is like a cancer diagnosis. I'm like crushed that the dryer broke. So I go over. This is how I fix it. The aide called me and told me. So I go over and I'm like, whew, and then I hit the button and pray it doesn't make a noise. And within 5 seconds, it's like, creak, 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 creak. And I'm like, fuck. And then I look, and I don't know what I'm looking at. I put my head in the dryer, and I'm like, yeah, it's broken. And then I leave.
My father's stuff is always breaking down. And my boyfriend he's a landlord as well. So he has a house in Levittown that he he
Landlord.
he's
for-
so I said to him, my dad, like the tiling in the bathroom was falling down. And I go, do you know a handyman? And my boyfriend goes, yes, I know a handyman. I look in the mirror, and that's the handyman. So he fixes all the stuff himself because he's like, I won't make any money if I keep having people come in to fix this and that. Because as you know, a house is constantly falling apart, bit by bit, piece by piece. You just got in here, so.
Oh no, we've already, now that we painted the 2 rooms upstairs, we've already like looked around and been like, oh, the rest of the
this is a new home for you guys?
We bought the house
Oh,
in
yeah, it's new.
December of 2019.
All right, so it's a year.
Yeah, so we just came up on a year.
Is anything broken yet?
I'm impressed.
Well, the dog chewed some holes in the wall.
Well, that's your fault, but I mean, you came in and it was like ready.
The dog chewing the walls is my fault.
It's not your fault, but I mean, it's not wear and tear on the house.
I did the podcast with, Mike Calcagno.
Yes.
And Mike has a house. It's relatively new, a year. He's recently
he's
married
young.
and stuff. But he's like, he does a project every weekend.
Yeah.
Like every weekend. He's up at 6 a.m. And what are you doing? He's like, I'm laying a brick. And you know what he does? He just goes on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boyfriend
It's like how to on YouTube.
Yep.
I come over and I'm like, how do you build a shed and level the... He's like, I went on YouTube.
Yep, a lot of people went on YouTube. So Jim says he gets to keep 11 of the TVs, so that's good. Your wife gets 1 TV. Robert Soleil said, "Okay,
Must have a sharp lawyer.
this is where I'm going to be. So listen up. If you like the Rolling Stones, which I love, they are the best Rolling Stones tribute band. It's called Street Fighter. They're going to be at the Nutty Irishman in Farmingdale on February 6th at 5 o'clock. Esther asked me about it, and I sent her the link, and she said, cool. I asked her, how cool? And I think she realized she had to order dinner. So she said, never mind, life is too hard. Well, I'll be there, and Robin will be there, and George.
Tell her if she goes, she's got to wear grown-up leggings.
Yeah, you can't wear your kid leggings if you go.
Leggings
You have
at the Nutty Irishman. That's a good music venue, by the way.
Yes, I've been there before.
I've done comedy there
I've
twice.
seen comics.
It's not a great...
Esther Forrester, didn't you do a show at the Nutty Irishman with Richard Schultes was the headliner? I'm pretty sure. That was the first time I was ever at the
It's
Nutty.
a hard comedy room.
You're saying hi to Lou Pratt.
Yeah, Lou Pratt is going to be your guest.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say on the Calamity Jones Hour on
I can't wait.
Friday, the 29th.
I love Lou.
That's from 9 to 10, the late night edition.
It's funny because the names, a lot of the names you're mentioning, I know, I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I was Facebook friends with him, but I don't know any of them.
He's such a nice person.
He's
oh my
great.
God,
Just
everybody
like
loves
we have
him.
a lot of friends. We friend each other, then we never speak ever.
Right. He's got a mic in his hand.
Yes.
So I know a lot of the names, but don't know
Lou
them
and I
personally.
met at a Paul Bond workshop.
It's Lou Pratt's, right? Is it Pratt's?
Yes, Lou Pratt's, and he has an autistic son, and I have 2 autistic sons. So we bonded over that, and he's just such a nice person. I really.
I do a huge autism fund. Right now, they're not doing it, but I do it at the Landmark Theater in Port Washington every year.
Nice.
It's a massive. There's a couple of different foundations. I think this one's Stand Up for Autism.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the different groups. There's like Autism Speaks, Stand Up for Autism.
I know Autism Speaks.
Yeah, there's another big. I don't know which one it is.
Sassy.
I've heard of Sassy too.
You think by year 4, I would know which foundation I'm doing these. And it's awesome. It sells out every year. The people are super nice. It's a really great show. And unfortunately, we couldn't do it this year, obvious reasons.
Yeah. It's the COVID has hit everybody in different ways, and one of the ways it's hit. Lou, you can type in if it's happened to you, but almost all of my son's programs have been canceled. So, like, I have my boys most of the time, and it's tough. I have the.
They make me nervous when I do it.
What do they? Why?
Because I don't disparage. I don't make jokes. You know my act. I don't.
Oh yeah, no,
I have nothing.
Your act is very clean.
But they're
and cool.
worried because everybody there, for the most part, most of the audience has an autistic kid.
Yeah.
So before I go on stage, the lady who runs it is a sweetheart. She's a former cop. She's very involved. She's always like, "Don't say retarded." I'm like, yeah, I understand. It's an autism fundraiser.
It's like, fuck, like writing.
You know what? I've met a lot of comics
on the
where
show
I
one
think
year.
you have to say something like that because
once.
A lot of them don't
by like
have
the
common
7th
sense.
time, she kept saying,
okay.
Just remember, like, don't say retard. I'm like, it's in my head.
You're not grandfathering from last year.
No, you know what
can't say it.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember, there's I don't remember exactly what movie it was. Uncle Buck, where he goes to see the principal, and she has like this wart, like right there, just giant wart. And he says to himself, like, I'm not going to say the word wart. And then every sentence he says has the word wart in it. So since she told you not to say retarded, you're probably going to like blurt it out.
Tim Gage was on that year, and I referred Tim.
She
doesn't know
Don't tell
him.
me he said retarded.
No, but she told him. She's like, just make sure. Did you tell him? I go, I told him. He's fine. Don't worry about it. And then she went over and told him. And then like 4 more times, other people are like, so don't say retarded. I'm looking at, and Gage is starting to be like, what's going on here? Like, what's? So as he's walking on stage, I'm like, damn, I'm like, don't say retarded.
See, that's the kind of thing that you can't say to me too many times because I'll fuck up and say it. Because I'll be so concentrated on not
And I'm
saying
doing so well, they really like me. It's like my 4th year. I do like an auction.
Okay.
But it's an auction, like an old school, like, here, $1,000.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. So she asked me one year to do it, and I winged it. And now she's like, you want to do the auction this year? And I'm like, okay. So I just make it up. And we raise it's pretty good prizes. It'll be like a limousine and 4 box seats for the Yankees and like dinner at a fancy, like nice, really nice.
Well, give me the information. I'll go.
Yeah, well, this year, obviously, we're not going to be having it. But when it's open,
when it comes
cater
back.
it up. They do a cocktail hour and all the restaurant. Everybody donates. But you get like a great spread of food. It's a really, I'm really happy to do it.
So Lou Pratt says, say it like you're from Boston. Retarded. No, you know what? What's
it's
so
my
funny?
opener. I'm like, how's everybody doing? Anybody here retarded? It's just dead silence.
Autism and retardation is completely different. So I don't understand like what I guess there's no
I don't think any comedian goes, what are you, autistic? It doesn't.
Yeah, it's like
people
it's
use
not
if comics are going to use a
normal
word.
conversation.
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't.
That's
I didn't really
layman's. Like
understand.
you have autistic kid. I like people who don't. Like retarded is just an umbrella that covers any.
Yeah, any disability.
Right. I had somebody say to me, Jordan Louderback.
Oh yeah, I love Jordan.
He has cerebral palsy.
Yes.
Like a mild case cerebral palsy. But once we're at a club and the club owner says to me, he goes, who's that? I go, he's my opener. He goes, the retarded kid? Mm-hmm. And I go, he's not retarded. I go, he has cerebral palsy. And he goes,
same thing,
goes,
right?
It's a form of retardation. He goes, it's a kind of retardation. I'm like, well, it's not.
It's completely different. One of my jokes is about that, but you know.
And I'm just like, well, you're writing my check, whatever you say.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. But no, seriously, send me the information when that comes back. All those fundraisers will come. Everything will come back.
I will go.
So talk about parents. Like my mom was very frugal, and when we went on vacations, she would like always bring snacks and didn't want to spend money at the amusement park. Like she'd have raisins for us. So when I
don't think that falls under the snack category.
When I became a mom, I went overboard the other way, and with my daughter, I would get her like anything she wanted, like the cotton candy, the big stuffed animal, whatever. Like, what were your parents like as far as finances?
Well, we never did like Disneyland or any of that shit. My dad was like, I don't like people, I don't like crowds, and we wouldn't do that kind of stuff. We just maybe it was a money thing.
I did Disney, but when I went to Disney. It wasn't like Disney, there was nothing there.
What was it?
It was Disney, but there was no like Disney Universal or Epcot. It was like 3 rides and a fucking mouse. I was like, this is weak.
Well, that's
it was like 1975. You know, it's weak. Like the Pirates of the Caribbean, and that shit's still there. I don't think they've upgraded. Those are rides in Disney.
I think it's exactly the same.
They're like
and now they have to clean it because of COVID.
I never thought about that. You've never been?
I went to downtown Disney once, but it was for one night.
Downtown Disney.
What is downtown Disney?
It's the most ghetto version of Disney.
Yeah, that's Disney on a discount.
Downtown Disney.
I never heard that. My Jewish uncle and my fucking aunt.
Disney Light. That's awful. Well, we didn't have money.
Mickey has a tin cup.
We would drive in a van.
It was actually Chuck E. Cheese, guys.
That's a Chuck E. Cheese mouse.
Okay.
We drove in a van. It was a 2-day drive. We drove then in a van because we couldn't afford to fly. It was like, I have 6 of them, but it was me, my brother, and sister because the other ones were too old. So me and my brother.
What's the age difference?
The closest to me is 8 years.
Okay.
I have to give a spoiler alert because I was showing my dad because I visit my dad, to keep him company. I keep a distance from him, but I showed him one of your clips and I said, this is the person who's going to be our guest. And you did a great bit about how, because I'm sure it came from the truth, about how when you went on a trip as a kid, you had a van, not a van.
You saw that bit?
Yes.
Oh, wow, I didn't know
Not
that
a
was even online.
van that had like the CDs that you could play.
Not a customized
DVDs.
van.
It was
like
a van
yeah,
that just had a blanket in the back.
a
and
hard
and
metal floor.
And you and your brothers and sisters were just thrown back there.
You
and
mentioned
you drove
the
to
snack
Florida.
thing. My mother would pack an igloo cooler and put sandwiches and stuff in there, but
Yeah,
the ice only lasts till like Delaware. And then you open it up and it's just like sandwiches, like they're like bobbing in like water. You're like, those look good.
So Larry Arts is watching. He is one of our sponsors. We already plugged your show, as Jim told you, and we're going to do it again at 8:30. And Jim Reyes says Disney is a great trip because, of course, Jim Reyes probably did it the right way, and they probably went on the Disney cruise knowing Jim Reyes. Peter Najek said, my parents took me to a Cooperstown and we got a NES that my parents scraped together money to get. I don't know what that means.
I think it's a gaming system,
and
like
Mom,
an old school gaming
Oh,
system.
okay.
I think. I could be wrong.
And Mom, yeah, I did go to Disney in Japan, but you and Dad don't get credit for that, Mom. That was in my own money.
Yeah, your mother's chiming in right now.
That's great.
Like,
Nancy Weems.
She sent me away.
You
Your mom's
did that
defending
yourself.
parenting skills.
I love her
to
mom.
Disney
She's so
in
sweet.
Japan.
Nancy Weems said she went to Disney so much it got boring. Well, Nancy,
Tara
not
was
all of
on
us
your-
can be in your
Oh,
shoes.
seriously.
I don't get Disney. I don't have kids, but if I had kids, I guess you have to go. But it doesn't sound fun.
Oh my God! When people without kids go, it's like
I don't get it.
I love
I know
Disney.
grown adults who are like, we're going to Disney, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
I don't like
Dude.
rides, but I like Epcot Center.
well,
That was cool.
Didn't even exist when I went.
Oh, well, there you go.
So fucking long ago.
Jim Reyes said, we once took a camper with 8 kids to Disney. The thing that held all the shit flew off the camper and hit a cop in the face. I love Jim's stories.
That's great.
I'm telling you. Jim, you better come on Saturday night. I'm going to kill you if you don't come.
Okay. You have a show
Seriously.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Like a live, a Zoom
No.
show or a live? I know you can't say where it is.
Under the radar.
like
Under the
a-
radar.
Like an
So
actual
Michael
show.
Steven
That's
Spielberg
where
said,
humans,
that's my boyfriend. He said, you had a blanket in the van as a kid. That you are from a rich family, because my boyfriend was saying his parents were
It was
so
a moving
cheap.
blanket.
They didn't go anywhere on vacations. That's probably why you're so frugal now.
I'm rich because I had the blanket?
Yeah.
I wasn't a human trafficking. They didn't just throw my naked body in the back of a van.
I don't think he went on many trips at all. Peter Najek said Nintendo Entertainment
It is,
System.
see?
So you're right.
And
It
you
was
know
a
what?
video game
I
console.
make fun of those trips.
But you remember them.
Remember, I would give my right arm to have one of those trips again. They were great trips. Like,
See,
it's
I
quality
have
time with your
bad
family,
Yeah.
and it's rough, but it's like I look back.
I would rather not. I
it
had
was a
some
great
terrible
time. I mean,
trips.
I was 10. My brother and sister were probably 18. I was 9. They were 17. Some
Yeah.
big age difference. But for me, it was a great memories.
Well,
I
I'm
would
happy
do-
for you. I have terrible memories. Michael Steven Spielberg said, your mom is watching. Thanks, Bonnie. I don't see her on here. Sorry, Michael.
Sometimes I would complain, Bonnie, and I'd be like, I don't believe we're driving to Disney. And they're like, you could be at downtown Disney. Like, you should be grateful.
Exactly. All right, I rescind what I said. I rescind what I said about Michael's trips. I probably got that wrong. So Andrew,
Is he rebutting you?
He had a blanket and a pillow.
Andrew
Fremner
is watching. Hi, Andrew. How are you? He's saying hi to you, not to me. Hi, Andrew. So it is 8:30. So we're going to do our plugs, and then we're going to let John have the last say. So do you want to go first? Or?
Yeah, just real quick, guys. Ambience, the Ambience Salon. They're on Instagram and Facebook, the Ambience Salon. It's full salon, hair, skin, and nails. And Bonnie?
And Keys Love Jewelry, stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Keys Cutlery, knives, swords, and self-defense equipment. It's a really cool place. Excellent quality for reasonable prices. You can shop online at keyslovesjewelry.com or keyscutlery.com. Or you could go in person at Lala's Flea Market, 1075 Portion Road in Farmingville, New York. And the phone number is 631-379-1781. And we're going to let our guest, John Ziegler, thank you so much for coming on the Wildflowers. We're going to let you have the last say. I don't want to put you on the spot. Is there anything you want to talk about or promote?
I think in 2023, I have a show coming up. Nothing to promote. This was fun.
Thank you for
Yeah, I
coming.
don't-
You were.
Thank you so much
The
for
hour
coming.
went fast.
It
I have a
went so
website.
fast.
You can go to John
Yes,
Ziegler.
tell them the website.
JohnZieglerComedy.com. There's some
John
clips up there.
Ziegler
She's gonna
Comedy.
put it on the web.
Podcasts. That's
on-
it.
Above us, John Ziegler Comedy. If you could
That's
say it.
Oh, it's on the thing. She's so good with
You're a
technology.
tech head.
Yeah, she knows so much about technology. And
And my website was done. I give him a plug. He did my did my business cards, did my brochure, did my website. Stephen Perillo, very good graphic designer.
Ah,
Yeah,
Stephen
Perillo.
Stephen was
Perillo.
telling me he was
Very-
going to do business cards for me, and
He
then
did my
it
stuff for me.
so
and
far
did
it
a
hasn't
really nice
happened.
job.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's business
But
cards.
we've been very
I'm gonna make
busy.
it.
He's been busy. I've been busy. So.
So I don't give him any money. I already
But,
hired someone.
thank you everybody for tuning in. And next week, who is our guest?
We have
Michelle Astor.
Yeah, Michelle
and-
Asta and Nancy Vargas.
Yes.
So it's going to be 4 ladies, guys. A lot of estrogen in the room. It's going to be fun.
There's a lot
Thank
of
you,
estrogen.
everybody,
I
for
shop
tuning-
8 hours straight.
Yeah, seriously. That is a
There's
lot of
enough
estrogen.
here.
That's a lot of estrogen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Tune in
Everyone get
next
home
week,
safe.
Wednesday, 7:30. Same time, same channel.
Be good.
Bye, everybody.